The Zephyrian war fleet hung in space like a constellation of death, their crystalline vessels gleaming with an otherworldly luminescence against the star-speckled void. Admiral Kexthera stood on the bridge of the flagship Dominion's edge, her 6 arms gracefully manipulating the holographic displays as she surveyed the pathetic sight before them. "This is what the humans call their defense fleets," she clicked in amusement, her translator converting her chittering language into standard galactic. The other officers on the bridge joined in her mirth, their mandibles clicking in harmony. Before them, a single human warship drifted in the darkness, the UES Defiant. It was a crude, angular thing compared to their sleek bioorganic vessels. Metal plates welded together with what appeared to be primitive fusion technology, bristling with projectile weapons that belonged in a museum rather than a space battle. "Their vessel is barely 300 meters long," reported her tactical officer, Vexmore. "Our smallest escort is twice that size. Their weapons appear to be kinetic-based projectiles and primitive energy beams. Our shields will absorb their attacks like morning dew." Kexthera's compound eyes focused on the data streaming across her displays. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 17 star systems in the past century. Each species they encountered had initially resisted, then begged for mercy, and finally accepted their place as vassals. Humans would be no different. "Open a communication channel," she commanded. "Let us offer them the traditional terms of surrender." The view screen flickered to life, revealing the bridge of the human vessel. A middle-aged man with graying hair and steely blue eyes stared back at her. His uniform was simple, lacking the ornate decorations that mark superior species. This had to be their commander. "I am Admiral Kexthera of the Zephyrian Warfleet," she announced. "You are outgunned, outmanned, and outmatched. Surrender now, and your species will be granted the privilege of serving the Empire. Resist, and we will reduce your pathetic world to cosmic dust." The human admiral, according to their intelligence, his name was Marcus Chen, studied her for a long moment. Then, impossibly, he smiled. "Admiral Kexthera," Chen replied, his voice calm and measured, "I appreciate the offer, but I'm afraid I'll have to decline. You see, we humans have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog." The bridge erupted in laughter. Kexthera herself couldn't contain her amusement. "Your primitive metaphors are entertaining, human. But this is not a contest between domesticated animals. This is war." "Yes," Chen nodded. "It is. It is." The communication ended, and Kexthera turned to her weapons officer. "Target their propulsion systems. Disable them, but keep the ship intact. I want to study their technology, what little there is of it." "Firing plasma cannons," the officer reported. Brilliant beams of coherent energy lanced across space, striking the human vessel's shields. The energy barriers flared and collapsed almost immediately, just as predicted. The plasma struck the hull directly, and Kexthera expected to see the ship listing helplessly. Instead, the Defiant shrugged off the attack as if it had been struck by gentle rain. "What?" Kexthera's mandibles clicked in confusion. "Tactical report. Admiral, their hull appears to be absorbing our plasma. I'm reading massive energy redistribution across their ship's systems." Before Kexthera could respond, the human vessel began to change. The crude metal plating shifted and reconfigured, revealing hidden arrays of weapons that had been concealed beneath false panels. The ship's profile elongated, becoming sleeker and more menacing. "Incoming transmission," reported the communications officer. Admiral Chen appeared on screen again, but now his expression was different, harder, more predatory. "You know, Admiral, you're absolutely right about one thing. This isn't a contest between domesticated animals. You see, what you're looking at isn't actually our warship." "What are you talking about?" Kexthera demanded. "The Defiant is a trap," Chen explained. "We knew you were coming months ago. We've been studying your tactics, your technology, your weaknesses. This ship isn't made of metal. It's made of programmable matter, infused with adaptive nanotechnology. Every shot you fire at us makes us stronger." The human ship suddenly accelerated at impossible speeds, closing the distance between them in seconds. Weapons that definitely hadn't been there moments before emerged from its hull's sleek energy cannons that hummed with barely contained power. "But that's not the real surprise," Chen continued. "The real surprise is that we've been broadcasting everything that's happened here across subspace to every species you've ever conquered. They're all watching right now." Kexthara's blood ran cold. "Impossible. We destroyed their communication networks." "You destroyed the networks you could see," Chen corrected. "We humans have a talent for redundancy. And right now, representatives from the Altarian Republic, the Centauri Alliance, and the Free Worlds Coalition are witnessing the mighty Zephyrian Empire being outmaneuvered by a single human vessel." The Defiant opened fire. Its weapons weren't the primitive kinetic projectiles Kexthara had expected. They were focused antimatter beams that carved through her flagship's shields like a blade through silk. Around them, her fleet was already moving to engage, but she realized with growing horror that they had been flanked. Human ships, real human warships, decloaked around the Zephyrian fleet. Dozens of them, sleek and deadly, their hulls bristling with weapons technology that was clearly years ahead of what the Zephyrians possessed. "You see, Admiral," Chen's voice came through the chaos of battle. "We learned something important from studying your empire. You always underestimate your enemies. You assume that a less advanced civilization can't possibly threaten you. But we humans have another saying: pride goes before the fall." The battle was over in minutes. The mighty Zephyrian warfleet, which had terrorized a dozen star systems, found themselves surrounded and outgunned by an enemy they had dismissed as primitive. As the Dominion's edge shuddered under the impact of human weapons, Kexthara realized that the greatest mistake she had made wasn't underestimating human technology, it was underestimating human cunning. The last thing she heard, before her ship's systems failed, was Admiral Chen's voice: "To all civilizations receiving this broadcast, Earth stands ready to assist in throwing off the Zephyrian yoke. The age of their empire is over." In the cold depths of space, the human fleet regrouped around the Defiant, which had already begun transmitting coordinates for a new alliance, one built not on conquest, but on the revolutionary idea that the galaxy's smaller civilizations could stand together against those who would dominate them. The Zephyrians had laughed at Earth's warship. They weren't laughing anymore.